Pepe Orsini. Pepe Orsini of the Roman Maximus clan. He is the Grey Pope and is the king of the Holy Roman Papal bloodlines. Above the Rothschilds and Rockefellers but in line and of equal stature to the Breakspear, Aldobrandini, and other papal bloodlines. Knight of Malta. Tom Cruise donates to the Optimum Population Trust of Manchester, England. He and his father are major depopulationists. Both are tied to the papal bloodline Orsini family, a most powerful family in complete control of the conspiracy. Pepe Orsini is the Grey Pope working with his Black Pope and his Society of Jesus. The Orsini, Maximus, Orso, family are the Zoroastrianist shadow hierarchy of the Jesuit order. The Illuminati is only one of the 6 current heads that make up the beast, and there is a head to that beast. A woman who rides that beast, the evil Queen Hephzibah, the matriarch who is said to be the reincarnation of Semiramis. You will never read any article about her. She is an Nephilim hybrid, a great-granddaughter of Lucifer himself, and she is the mother of the Antichrist, and the Queen, the Piner, and others are all afraid of her. As this previous poster has said, yes, there are others that you never hear about, and that all information is destroyed before that it can get out. I could not give this information out if I wasn't one who is feared by the elite myself. The real people in charge, you have never heard of them. The real 13 Zoroastrian bloodlines of the Illuminati. Ptolemaic papal bloodlines. Orsini. Breakspear. Aldobrandini. Farnese. Somaglia. All controlled through the Jesuit order and their Knights of Malta and Teutonic Knights, all based in missile-protected Borgo Santo Spirito in Rome. Pepe Orsini, Italy. Henry Breakspear, Macau, China. This is the true power finally. This is the Gulf and the Gibel and power over mankind. The Cecil family were controlled by the powerful Jesuit family known as the Pallavicini. Maria Camilla Pallavicini is far more powerful than Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen and Prince Philip are totally subordinate to the papal bloodline, the Breakspear family and their Jesuit UK HQ at 114 Mount Street. Please go and study who funded Elizabeth I that astronomical amount of money to fight the Spanish. Yes, Pallavicini. The most powerful man right now in the conspiracy over this world is a Roman by the name of Pepe Orsini of the powerful Roman papal bloodline, the Orsini, also known as Orso, and the ancient Maximus family. There is no one more powerful than this figure, who is really the Grey Pope. The papal bloodlines are the secret shadow hierarchy of the Jesuit order, even behind the Black Pope touted as the number 1. These powerful bloodlines are the Breakspear, Somaglia, Orsini, Farnese, Aldobrandini. You'll notice David Rothschild marrying into the Aldobrandini with the pretty Princess Olympia Aldobrandini. Another real head of this is Henry Breakspear, who resides now in Macau and China. Many of the papal bloodline heads now live in Asia and India. What does that tell you? The current Black Pope, Adolfo Nicholas, was brought forward for the position due to the Jesuits bringing about of Asia as the next power player of the agenda. Both this Black Pope and the White Pope aren't of papal bloodline, they are both commoners. I've named the most powerful families on the planet. I've named the Grey Pope the one in between the white and black but unseen. Saturnalian Brotherhood, the real 13 Zoroastrian bloodlines of the Illuminati. House of Borea. House of Breakspear. House of Somaglia. House of Orsini. House of Conti. House of Chigi. House of Colonna. House of Farnese. House of Medici. House of Gaetani. House of Pamphili. House of Este. House of Aldobrandini. These Egyptian Ptolemaic dynasty rulers are in full control of the Company of Jesus. High Grey Council of 10. The Black Pope. This is some good info on the Black Pope. The Black Pope, Superior Jesuit General, the President of the World, speaks at Loyola Military Fortress University in his unratified 14th Amendment Little Rome D.C. United States Corporation. A corporation under International Maritime Admiralty Law, Uniform Commercial Code, based upon Vatican canon law and perfected by the Roman Empire. He lies about his power. He's over the Pope as of 1814. He only serves and works with the shadow Jesuits, being the papal bloodline Orsinis, Breakspires, Aldobrandinis, Farneses, Samalges. Adolfo is not of papal bloodline. Some black popes have been. The next in power beneath the Jesuits is the Bourbon, King Juan Carlos of Spain. The Roman monarch of the world, the King of Jerusalem and small military navigator. This is the true world's power system right now. Adolfo serves as a military general protecting the Zoroastrianism and Mithraism mystery schools. The Jesuits were created by the papal bloodline Farnese during the reign of Farnese Pope Paul III. Loyola was commissioned by Alessandro Cardinal Farnese. The Borghi, a crime family, created the Jesuits. After the terrible reign of Pope Alexander VI, the Romans were disgusted with the Spanish and vowed that there would never be another Spanish pope. This animosity toward the Spanish was further aggravated by the sack of Rome in 1527 in order to prevent the divorce of Henry VIII from Catherine of Aragon. The Borgia answer to this Spanish animosity was the creation of the Order of Jesuits, a quasi-religious, military strike force whose members were totally dedicated to their Spanish leader, who bore the military title of general. Like the White Pope, the general is elected for life, and the Jesuit dynasty is a parallel or pseudo-papacy. Of course, the general is content to run the show from behind the scenes so as not to arouse the age-old Italian hatred for the Spanish. The Jesuit general is referred to as the Black Pope at the Vatican because he always dresses in black. The Jesuits were officially founded in 1540 by Pope Paul III. Ignatius Loyola became their first general. Don Francis Borgia was the great-grandson of Pope Alexander VI, and co-founder of the Jesuits. On his mother's side he was descended from King Ferdinand of Aragon. The Spanish controlled the Vatican through the Jesuits. For the past 500 years, the Spanish Inquisition has controlled the Vatican by means of the Jesuits. All the Jesuits answer to their general in Rome, and he in turn is content to run the show from behind the scenes, without any publicity or public acclaim so as not to arouse the age-old Italian hostility to the Spanish. Vaticanus. Vaticanus then is a combination of Vatic plus Anus, just as Romanus is a combination of Rome plus Anus. Therefore, Vaticanus Colus or Vaticanus Mons mean the prophetic hill or mountain, which can be rephrased as the hill or mountain of prophecy. The word Vatican is just a shortened form of the word Vaticanus, just like Claudian is a shortened form of Claudianus, as shown above. This association of the Vatican with prophecy is even confirmed by this recent Catholic book. Where does the word Vatican come from and what does it mean? The word derives from the Latin vates, which means tellers of the future. This name was the name given to a hillside on the west bank of the Tiber River in Rome because daily lineups of fortune dealers used to hawk their wares there to passers-by on the street. In the 14th century, when the papacy was returned to Rome from Avignon, France, the present-day Vatican became the residence of the popes, and the word came to refer to the enclave in the middle of Rome that had become the seat of the Roman Catholic Church. Source: Incredible Book of Vatican Facts and Papal Curiosities, by Nino Lobello, 1998. Here is a verse from the Latin Vulgate Bible and King James as an example of the use of Vatic, emphasis is mine. Ne 6:12. Et intellecti quod Deus non misisitum st quasi vaticinans locutus is satad me et tobia et sana bullat conduxus centum. And, lo, I perceived that God had not sent him, but that he pronounced this prophecy against me, for Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. Now, note the following coins minted in Vatican City from 1955 to 1965 under 3 popes. The inscription on the reverse side of the coin reads in Italian Città del Vaticano, which as we can now see, means city of prophecy. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. There is also a woman on the reverse side, and at her feet is her title, Fides, which means faith. This woman is symbolic of the Roman Catholic faith, or Roman Catholic Church. Interestingly, the word anus in Latin also means old woman, so Vaticanus is a combination 2 words that also result in the old woman of prophecy, this woman being symbolic of the Catholic Church. Above is a papal medal minted by Pius XI in 1929 to commemorate both the Lateran Treaty, which restored papal sovereignty and made Vatican City an independent state, and the 50th Jubilee of his priesthood. The sunburst wafer of the Eucharist appears in the sky above the Lateran and St. Peter's basilicas, over the cup of the Mass. Here is a photo of the same symbology of the cup and wafer host of the Catholic Mass, used in the window of the Church Dominus Flevit on the Mount of Olives, overlooking the Temple Mount of Jerusalem, online at Christus Rex. Note the wavy sunburst pattern around the cup. Fides, the Catholic faith, holding the golden cup of the Mass, portrayed by Lorenzo Sabatini and his assistants from 1573–1576 on the vault of the first Sala de Focani, the Vatican. Speaking about his teachings, Jesus Christ said, Matt 9:17 Neither do men put new wine into old bottles, else the bottles break, and the wine runneth out, and the bottles perish, but they put new wine into new bottles, and both are preserved. This is the title page of a Roman Catholic missal, published in 1779, which depicts a cup holding fides. The missal contains the prayers said by the priest at the altar as well as all that is officially read or sung in connection with the offering of the holy sacrifice of the Mass throughout the ecclesiastical year, according to the Catholic Encyclopedia. Can it be any plainer that the Catholic Church has indeed adopted the symbology of a woman holding a golden cup, precisely as described, and in fulfillment of the prophecy of Revelation 17? Indeed, and it would seem that no other Christian denomination but the Catholic Church has depicted itself in this manner. Papal Rome symbolism of fides apparently originated with ancient pagan Rome. On the left is a strikingly similar Roman denarius, with fides holding military standards, a common theme on coins from ancient Rome, depicting a military faithful to the reigning emperor. Here is another sculpture of fides, titled The Triumph of Faith Over Idolatry by Theogene Baptist, in Rome's Chiesa del Gesù, the Jesuit Church of Rome. This sculpture is on the left side of the tomb of Ignatius Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits. Ignatius Loyola. Rev 12-3 And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. Rev 12-4 And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Rev 12-9 And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. The above verses make clear, in even superficial reading, that the great red dragon is Satan. But there is another relationship that is not as readily apparent. Verse 4 is referring to the birth of Jesus, and Satan's attempt to kill the infant Jesus. Satan, however, did not attempt this act of murder on his own. He made his attempt through the power of one man on earth. This man is identified. Matt 2:13 And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Herod the Great, the king of Judea and Palestine, was the agent Satan used in his attempt to kill the infant Jesus. It is significant to note that Herod received his office from the Roman Empire. In 37 BC, Herod the Great conquered Jerusalem with the aid of Roman armies and made himself king. Now notice again in Rev 12:3 that Satan is described as having 7 heads, 10 horns and 7 crowns. This is important because it is a key to identify Satan and his agents elsewhere in Revelation. Rev 13:1 And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Rev 13:2 And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. Here another agent of Satan can be found. Although nearly identical in description, it is not Satan, because verse 2 says this beast power gets his power from the dragon, a clear reference to Satan. As we observed in Matthew, Satan used the power of the ancient Roman Empire to attempt the murder of Jesus. The dragon and Rome worked with the same mind toward the same goal. So in Rev 13:2 we can possibly substitute Rome for the word dragon.